Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Tech Focus Trending. Guys, please subscribe to my channel Tech Focus Trending. Today I'm going to discuss about GitHub tutorial. So, Git and GitHub tutorial. What is the Git? And in this video, present today's video, I'm going to discuss about what is Git and what is GitHub, how to download and install Git in local, and how to work with Git, and what are the commands available in Git and all, and how to create a GitHub account in your browser level, and how to use that GitHub account, how to create a repository, how to create branches, and how to do commits within my local branches and along with the remote branches and all. So guys, please follow my video. Today I'm going to discuss about all about this Git and GitHub tutorial point. So this is my overview what I'm going to discuss on today's video. So how to install a Git and how to create a GitHub account uh, locally, and on what is Git and what is a GitHub, and how does Git work, and quick overview in the GitHub, like user interface, how to create after creating account, creating a branch and committing the code and all I'm going to show guys. So please follow. See, this is where in this slide I'm going to show how to install the Git in locally, and uh, how to execute the git commands. So we like if you are using Linux, you can just use this Linux Debian, this command guys, to sudo apt get installer one. And if you're using Linux Fedora, we're going to use a sudo install git. If you are using Mac, use this command. I'm this video I'm going to show about Windows level. So in video I'm going to use Windows, this one SCM version, download version. So I'm going to show where to download this downloader and all. So you can go to this gitscm.com downloads. You see gitscm.com browser level. Here you can see download for Windows. So if you want to, same way if you want to download for Mac OS, there is a downloads folder. Here downloads here. You can see Mac OS, Windows, and Linux. In my present, it is showing. It's selecting for. I'm working with the Windows, so I'm showing with the Windows download for Windows. Once you click on this download for Windows, downloader and the installer will be selected which one if you want, 32-bit either 62-bit operating systems. So for suppose my case is 64-bit. If you want to select as 32-bit, you can select 32-bit. So I have selected 64-bit operating system, download one. So once get downloaded already. So in my locally already I have installed. I'm not going to install guys again. I'm just showing already installed one. So once you click on this GitHub download of exe file, you can see it will ask for the permission, git for Windows permission. So you can just select the license which one you these things install it. Once you accept install, it will install guys. My case I already get installed. I'm not going to install it again. So just click on this for beginners who want to know about how to install and all. Just click on this installer exe file. Once you get this pop-up, click on the install. It will install it locally. So I already installed. I'm just canceling. And yes, and I'm going to the command prompt. So once it get installed in local, go to your command prompt and select git, type git hyphen. So you can see observe here getting git hyphen version. I'm getting git version. That's Windows 1. So I already get installed earlier last month, so I'm getting 237. Latest version is 239. Who are going to install now? That is like 239. So I get it 237. So once it get installed, you can observe along with Git. You can see there is a Git bash got installed. If you type in local, see here, we can see here Git bash. So this is required to communicate with your GitHub account, guys. Git account. I will show this my next level. So I'm going back to this is how we're going to install it in locally GitHub Git Git one. So download it from the browser gitscm.com, and whatever version 32 or 64-bit, and install it, and you can just verify it get installed or not. So this is done, and we are going to show what is the next one. Next slide we see. So if we want to create a GitHub account. I'm going to show both Git and GitHub one. So and we are going to create one GitHub account here. So if you are new, so go to that github.com. Go to github.com. You can see here There is a sign in and sign up button. We are firstly coming to the github.com. Just click on sign up button. So I already have account. I already have this sign into this GitHub. I already have a GitHub account, and that's why it is getting to me here. So I'll just sign out. There is a sign out option here. Sorry, 1 second. When to sign up? Sign out is not working. Yeah. Yes. So if you're new to and see coming to this one, just click on sign up. If you're new, if you already have account, click on sign in. If you don't have an account, just click on sign up button here within the website github.com. You can see here, if you're new guys, you can enter your email, whatever email you have, just enter and continue. It will ask for the creating a password. It will ask for the valid email. If you give, it will ask for uh, continue create a password, new password. So once it get created, your account email and email id and password here, create a new account, go to the sign in. Here you can enter your email id along with password, guys. Yes, I already have account. That's why I didn't create an account. Once it get installed, once it's logged into your GitHub account, you can you are able to see this your dashboard like this. Who are logged in here, sign in as Mahesh, and these and all. You can see there is sign out button and settings and all here. So there is a repositories. If it is a new, you go to here. So if you are new, means overview, you go this one. Repositories will be empty. Normally if it is a new account, these two are my case. Already I have account, and long back I created some two repositories. If you are new means it is empty, no repository will be shown. And how to create repositories, branch and all I will show. And I will show, guys. For now I'm showing only how to create a GitHub account. Repository things I will come back later. So now I'm going to the GitHub account creation is done. We're going to what is the version control. Before moving on to GitHub and all, creating branches and all, we just wanted to know what is version control before Git and what is the version control. Version control is again like we can code based management system where we have keeps our records of your changes. Like when we are working with a team, so we are working with a different same project, and we have the we are taking the copy of code into our local, we are working and we do our changes. So we have to keep the changes to collaborate with all team members. So we need one version control centralized system. That is a version control system we required. That is like this version control, either svs, cvn, or git, whatever preferable of the organization we can take. So within a team, with multiple team members are working with the same project and same files, or also different files also within the same project. If you want to move our code into some centralized location, we need this version control system, the centralized systems where we can keep all our code base and keep track of our code base every time. So we can do our take out, check out our code, and we can do our modifications into the code, and again we commit back to the code, back to the code, back to commit and commit the code back to this version control system. So based on the organization selection, either CVS, SVN, we work on it, guys, Git and all. So what is Git? In our case, I am going to discuss about Git. So we see in this version control, what is there is other I told CVS, SVN, along with we have other things also. For force, mercurial, subversion, SVN already discussed. There is two other things also there. Version control systems based on organization selection, we need to work on it. So next, what is a Git? Git is again a version control system where we can keep our centralized version control system, where we can keep our code base and work with that code base within a team by creating our own branches. Like Git is providing, other than the CVS, SVN and all, Git is providing some more flexibility to create this local branch creation along with offline working. So if we want to work, if we can take our branch from Git repository and create a local, check out as a local branch, and we can work it on offline. And once we done our once we done with the changes, modification, whatever we done, and we will move back the code back to the remote location, guys. So Git is providing that kind of flexibility. This branching system, creating local branches, working on local branches in offline, and once we are ready with our code changes, and we move back to the remote location, right? And this is what how Git will works. And GitHub is again a web-based hosting service. So where we keep track of all these Git repositories. So now we are keeping a code base into the Git repository. Our Git repository will track into the GitHub inside GitHub, guys. So GitHub has multiple repositories. It contains multiple repositories. It maintains all these we can say like different kind of repositories like UI documentation, bug tracking. You can see in the slide, document bug tracking, feature request, pull request. Everything will be comes under this GitHub repository. So Git will comes under this GitHub repository. So we are working on Git. Locally we install Git and we will work on the Git branches. But when we push our code into the Git repository, the Git internally located in the GitHub location. So that's what we created account already with the GitHub. So we need account for GitHub to push our code changes to the GitHub location. So that were whatever we should up to now, Git and GitHub version control and all, installing Git and all. So moving to that Git setup locally. Already we get installed Git in our local. How to set up the Git in locally? So before move to this setup, like we already created one GitHub URL in the GitHub account. In the GitHub URL, we can github.com. We already created one GitHub account. There we can see we given one valid email ID. So we need to know about that email, which email ID we created for GitHub account. Same to log into our configure while doing the setup Git setup. We need that email ID, guys. So there is a configuring here. We need git config have a global user dot name. What is we can give some specific username for to review our version history later on. And GitHub like in user dot email ID will doing the setup. So this will be associated with each history maker. This email ID will be already GitHub account. We already validated email. Valid email we need to provide here. And git init and all I will show. So I'm going back to this git bash. How to work with this git config local and all I will show now. So we need to, before that we need to create one local folder. So we can go into our workspace, local workspace, create one folder called git repository. In my case I have created one small one folder called git repository. So I need to make this my folder as a git repository. So to work this one as a git repository, I will open git bash here. So I close that. I will open git bash. So right click, open git bash here. So I will do initialization. So I'm initializing my folder as a Git repository, initializing empty Git repository. So we are getting Git initialized our Git folder got created. So our folder got initialized with Git. So the how I'm going to explain about .git, what is .git and all, hidden folder, this hidden folder. So we before going to next one, we need to log into our Git account. So we are going to validate. Git already told you GitHub git config. We need to provide username along with the mail ID. So git config. So we provide git config global user dot name. You can provide give anything about your name, guys. Name. So in case I'm going to Dinesh Babu. Let's hit enter. Same. Git username got created. Now we go to user dot email. Email. Provide your valid email what you are given the time of GitHub account creation. In case I'm giving the email ID. So user ID will be our user ID, email ID. So this is we just given our basic setup, the configuration setup what we shown in the documentation. You can see here git config or init we done, along with we created username and user email. We just giving the basic setup of the basic setup we done, guys. I'm going to show what is git commands. Like these are the init. We done already init. Just now we done this the git init command. What does it will do? So when you said git init in your project directory, or when you cloned an existing project, you created a repository. So what it will do? The repository is just subdirectory name .git containing various files. So what it have? It will once it done with git init command, it will create .git folder. So hidden folder, say hidden directory. It will create. So you don't want to work with this .git directory. It's just like providing the initialization of your directory will work as a Git repository. So for that purpose, just if initialize, we need to initialize this whatever directory we want to work, that we need to provide with Git initialization command, guys. So we're going to next. We already done. Once you're done with initialization, we're going to create this username and email ID. We already shown this git config, username and email, whatever you have. You just log into your GitHub account. So once you've done this, move on to the next workflow. So now, for now, we don't have any files. As of now, we just created repository, Git repository, and we initialize the Git repository. We don't have any files to push. So now we go here, git bash, whatever bash. So just before this, go here, create one file, new file, some text document, whatever file we can create, some text file. So in this file, write something, my first code. So just save it, close. So now I want to move this my file to Git repository. So what I need to do here, I will go. For now, already my repository is that particular folder is Git repository. I will do git add dot or file name. You can give direct file name also, and we provided dot means it will take entire whatever is there in the particular folder, and click on this. So now file got added. So if you want to check how the status of the file, you can click on, you can type git status on branch master, no commit set. So we have one file. So new file. You can see, observe here, new file test.txt. So this is in not yet committed, changes to be committed, not yet commit, just is in stage. So test.txt file is there, not committed. So I wanted to move my file. So commit my file. What I need to do, git commit file actually. Now we can see observe here, master in the branch master. I'm not created, I didn't create any branch, and I'm pushing my code to the master branch. My first commit, what I'm doing, one file changed, one file inserted. You can see here, now one file got inserted into my repository. So already inserted. Now you can check what status of the file. Earlier it was in staging. Now what is the status? Nothing to commit. So earlier it was like this. Changes is committed, not yet unstaged, not in the a new file is there, need to be committed. Once we're done with the commit, it moved to the repository master branch. And because we didn't create any branch, so that we can move on to the master branch and create a file got inserted. Once you check now status is committed, there is no nothing is there to commit. So this is and that's it, guys. This is a basic how to initialization of the git, and create log into your GitHub account, and from the command prompt git bash by using git bash. And you can create git by using git branch. You can create here directly. Instead of, if you don't want to commit to master branch, you can create your own branch, like clone branch here. Clone the master branch and create a one branch here also. I will show those in the GitHub level. This is a basic setup to initialize the Git repository, log into your GitHub account, validate your email ID, and just create one local folder as a Git folder, Git repository as a like working like a Git repository. You initialize this folder and commit your changes from this folder itself by using git bash. So I'm going to this next slide. So this how it work. You can see here, workflow is like working directory, whatever working directory, repository. Once you're done with the working directory, we have here my working directory is Git. I showed here working directory is this one. Git repository is working on my working directory. I did git add dot star. But it go into the indexing stage in stage. Once I done that git commit, my first commit, it moved to the repository. This how it work for guys. So making commits, that what we showed here. Git add file name along with dot also. Otherwise the dot we can use. Git commit with the description. This one already you seen this example. And what are the key concepts while working with Git you wanted to know? So before moving to the GitHub repository, we wanted to know about Git key concepts. This is a repository. There is a key concept called repository. So what is a repository? Often we call this a repo. So this is a repository where we can keep our history of files, all the collection of files what we working on it in our local. So our workspace folders, our workspace projects will be keep into this repository itself. So repository means it will keep all our branches, local version, local workspace code into this repository. All commits, whatever we did commits in our local created and all moving to this remote remote location within this repository location, guys. So we'll call it as a repos. I am going to show about how to create repository, what is repository, how to work with repository and all in the GitHub account. In GitHub, guys, I will show those in the next level. I'm just explaining what are the key concepts before moving to GitHub. What are the key concepts you need to know? And what is master? Already just now I shown master branch created. So master is the main branch. So what where we once we create a new account, we will get once we create a new account GitHub, and once we create a new repository, we can create a master branch. So it have all the main branch. You can see it's a main branch. We can commit a specific commit to this like readme or some license file or some dummy files. We can keep it in master branch. We don't want to use master branch directly. We'll clone different branches. By using master, we can create a or develop branch and some other feature branches. We want to work on those branches, guys, not master branch. We should not work on master branch directly. So for better practicing. And how does Git work? Already we seen, right, key concept branches. Already just now I shown we before working with master branch. Without working with branch, we can create our local branch, either develop or feature any other branches, local branches, or clone the Git repository or master branch. We can create our own branches and we can check out those branches. We will work on those branches. So check out, and again, once we done our modifications or change whatever changes we done, we can check in those changes back to this local branches, and we can merge it back to the. If you want, you can merge it to master. Otherwise, we can maintain some main branches, develop and feature branches as a sub projects, guys. And commit, I already shown how to commit the code and all. Just now commit, we need to commit either commit using git commit command. Use the whatever files we have created in our local, we can do git commit. It will push into the staging stage. Once there's sorry, git add will staging stage. Whatever the files are available in the staging stage, once we done with the git commit add and done with the git commit, it will move to the staging stage to repository, guys, remote level. So that way we'll commit comments already just shown. I will show this commit command how it works and all in our GitHub also. Snapshots, this is again a code history. Snapshot is again whatever we just as of now I shown, right, all the commits what we have done. That kind of track, the history, code history will be maintained within the snapshots, guys. So whenever we want, we can use this snapshot for future purpose, and we can do keep track of the go back to visit any snapshot versions. Once we've done our commits and all the code base will be available with these snapshots. Means whenever we want, we can okay, create one snapshot and we keep it to track for tracking purpose, guys. These snapshots and all will create. And committing and merging. So these are the one of the key concepts, how to commit and how to merge the code base in our from local to remote level, local branch to remote. So whenever we try to use our we done with our changes, we check out the branch as a local branch and we done our changes, and we are do a git add, and it will go to the staging stage. From git commit, it will move to the remote repository. And if we get any conflicts within the same branch, within our team, we have 3 4 members, we are working on the same project, we are taking the same before we maybe we'll work with 3 members who work on the same file. We'll try to commit the same file within the same repository, same branch. That time you may get conflicts. So before committing directly to the branch, whatever feature branch, whatever branch you taken, we need to verify there is a conflicts or not. So if there is a conflicts, to commit the files, you need to take the first we need to take the update from the sync. We need to synchronize our local code base with the remote code base. Then we can merge our new changes to that remote branch, guys. So we don't want to avoid these conflicts that we'll see in the examples and all, how to work with the merging and all. And that's it, guys. These are the basic commands you need to know before working with Git and GitHub in your local or wherever remote organization level. So these are the basic structure how Git and GitHub works. There is a remote space, repository space in the remote, and workspace in your local. And there's just one I shown this one add command. I will git add workspace to it will go to the repository after the add to commit. So from the repository we can push it to the remote page. As of now we are in the workspace is a local offline we're working, and we are moving to the repository. From repository it will go to the remote location, GitHub location. So there is a online base, so like a cloud base or a remote repository. So there we from the remote repository, whatever commit we done from that remote, everyone can pull out the code, check out or full or clone or check out the code into their workspaces. Then they can also work on the same code, guys. This is how Git and GitHub will work. I'm going to show the GitHub user interface now. As of now, we've seen Git and how to install Git and how to add some some basic comments and all. And GitHub account, we already created GitHub account. So this is our GitHub account. Once we logged into the GitHub using our credentials, we log into the GitHub. We can see here there is a have a top repository. You can see there is a we create a new repository. So we can go here. So we can do our create new repository. If I want to create new, click on this new button. So you can see observe here there is a button called new. So click new. Once you log into this, you can see create new repository. Owner, who is the owner, and it will say repository name. You can just provide. So in my case, I'm creating tutorial. Okay. Tutorial demo. I have created repository called tutorial demo, git tutorial demo. This is available and you can use it, and description is optional. If you want you can provide, or I'll leave it empty. And it's either is a public or private repository, whichever you want you can create. You can, if you want say you choose who can see and commit to this repository, or private. If you want to use public, anyone can internet can access this repository, you choose who can commit. So we can either public or private repository. If you want to keep it your own, then just keep it as a private. Don't want to expose it to public. And initialize the repository with instead of creating is empty, you can provide one readme file or dot git file or license, whatever. You can add some readme file into my repository. And license, there is a license here. We are now, for now we are creating only free versions. Open source we don't have any license, so we don't want to use Apache genium IT license and all. I'm not going to select this none, and click on create repository. So it's created. So you can see here repository got created with tutorial demo. So now it is created with the main branch. You can say it's a master branch. So now it's created with the main branch as a master branch. So now just I created readme file. I given only readme.md file, that is empty. So we don't have anything inside this file. So now we comes to know how to create a repository. So now we are going to see here how we can create a branch by using this master repository. So here you can see there is a optional checkbox. There is empty text box. Find or create a branch. We can create new branch by using this main. So I will create demo. So I have created demo branch, create branch demo from master main branch. So it will create me demo. So now we can see drop down. I have two main is the master branch. Main is branch. The master branch is the demo is a newly created feature branch. So this is my demo branch. So now I have created, and here we can, if you have already SSH license is there, you can add SSH key into your settings folder. You can there is a settings here. So inside our settings, you can add our SSH key into this settings. Oh, so there is a SSH key generation here. Here we need to generate your SSH key and copy over here. We're not going to show this SSH key here. Um, so that we can see that if you want to download any like your code base, right? You if you want to download your code base, or you can zip file you can download, or you can if you want to use git repository, the eclipse or sts anyone, you need to copy this location, but you need to enable the ssh in your local. You need to have certification ssh pub certificate is there, that you need to include to your github settings ssh key generation. Then you are able to check out the code from this git repository by using this ssh key. Nice. That's it. I for that SSK thing, and I'm going to show how to commit it in here. We have created two branches. So is there one is main and demo is the my feature branch. So here I'm going to add something. So I have file readme.file. So here I'm adding first commit. So now add this. Go here. So this is my file, and I'm adding need to add some external. So what about this file? Just file texting purpose. Directly to the demo branch or create a new branch. So in my case, we don't want to go with the new branch. Already we have feature branch, so we are going to go demo branch. If you want a new branch, if you want to create, it will create one patch one. So it will new patch it will create. Otherwise, it will create it in the commit directly to the demo branch. Commit. So now we can see in our readme.file we can observe there is my first commit is already committed. So this is how we can commit directly here. Create, you can see history who is committed and all. So initial commit, this is my first comment updated readme. In initial commit Mahesh was, now we created here, we committed initial commit. These are the history you can see here, who is committed and all, and our repository, our code branch. So this is how we can work with the branches, guys. So we want to create a pull request. So go here, create a new pull request. So now this is my master branch, main branch. So I have changed here. Demo is have new code, some changes. So demo has some extra changes compared to main branch. We know already. So what are those? So we have demo have main branch have only Git tutorial demo, but master demo branch have some extra changes. My first commit. So if I want to merge these changes into this from demo to main master branch, I can see you can say I can select left side base as main compared to demo. It's showing able to merge. That means you have changes, you can able to merge the changes from demo to main. That's what it's saying. So go to create pull request, click on create pull request. So we already commented as testing purpose. So create a pull request. Now see now. So the branch has no conflicts with the base branch, so you can merge the pull request. So if you have any conflicts or any problems are there, you this will be some different red color it will show, and this is because there is a conflict, so you don't want you are not able to match like that. It will show. If you don't have any problems to match, it will show. It comes as green, and you can see match pull request enabled here. So confirm match. You can provide some any comment before review and verify. Like if you want before you want to match, you can review and you can match it. Review the changes and you can match, guys. So now pull request successfully merged. So you can see here pull request successfully merged and closed. So this is the my pull request one. Readme dot one MD. This is my pull request ID one. This is my pull request ID got created and it's got merged completely successfully. So now go back to our code. You can see here main branch also have the same changes. See first commit main branch same you have it in the demo also. So demo already we committed this change. The same change we merged back to the master branch. See this the change what we have merged. So that's it, guys. This is what about creating repository, creating branch, and how to commit the changes into branch, and how to merge the changes from feature branch to main branch, and different branches. How to make changes between two different branches and all. We then other than this, beyond any other changes, like these are the things we have. For Git, basic things for beginner level. We have more things you know to wanted to know how to clone and all, how to add this. And it told how this SSH key work and all, and how to integrate this GitHub with STS or Eclipse and all. We are going to show in the next videos. I will show how to merge this GitHub or Git with STS or Eclipse, and how to check out the code we're using the SSH key, and working on that. Eclipse guys, check out and commit the changes by using Eclipse or STS guys. So for now, I'm going to show this tutorial. I'm going to show how to basic beginner level tutorial, and this is a brief discussion. Please watch and subscribe to my channel, guys. Take post trending. Thanks for watching. Bye.